Have you ever wondered what could happen if you stopped chasing the noise and started listening to yourself? When we talk about focusing on ourselves, it's not about being selfish. It's not about shutting out the world or turning our backs on people. No, it's about realizing something much deeper. The most important project you will ever work on in your life is you. But here's the thing, we rarely see it that way. We spend so much time looking outward, don't we? Watching what everyone else is doing, tracking their successes, their highlights, their carefully curated lives on social media. We compare, we compete, and somewhere along the way, we forget that within us lies something extraordinary. Imagine what could happen if all that energy we pour into distractions and comparisons was instead channeled into building the best version of ourselves. Just imagine the transformation. You see, life has this relentless way of pulling us in every direction at once. Work demands our time, family needs our attention, friends call for our presence, society throws endless expectations at us, and all around us, there's this constant buzz, notifications, opinions, pressure. It's overwhelming. And yet, beneath all that noise, there's a quiet voice inside. Can you hear it? The one that's often drowned out, but always knows what we truly need. Focusing on yourself is about tuning in to that voice. It's about realizing that investing in yourself isn't just some luxury you can ignore, it's essential. When you pour into yourself, you are planting seeds that may not bloom immediately. But trust me, they will grow. Every book you read, every skill you develop, every moment you take to reflect or recharge, it all adds up. Every workout, every meditation, every act of self-care, it's all part of your investment. And the returns will come. They show up as confidence, resilience, opportunities you never saw coming. But here's something most people miss. Focusing on yourself isn't just about setting goals and ticking boxes. It's about real growth, not the straight, predictable kind. No, it's messy, it's deep, it's personal. It's the kind of growth that changes the way you see yourself and the world around you. When you dive into self-discovery, you begin to uncover your true passions, your unique strengths, and yes, your weaknesses too. And that's powerful, because when you understand yourself, you can make decisions that align with who you really are. You can walk a path that's meant for you, not one designed by someone else. But let's be honest, it's not always easy. There will be days when focusing on yourself feels like the hardest thing in the world. Growth can be uncomfortable. It demands discipline. It sometimes means saying no to people and situations that drain you. It requires you to choose what's good for you over what's easy. It may even mean stepping away from the crowd and facing that fear of missing out head-on. But I promise you, it's worth it. When you genuinely focus on yourself, you build a foundation that can weather any storm life throws at you. Challenges will come, that's a guarantee. But when you've invested in yourself, you become unshakable. You develop a strength that's rooted not in your circumstances, but in your core. You learn to face setbacks with grace. You begin to see failures not as dead ends, but as stepping stones. You stop just surviving storms. You start dancing in the rain. And here's something beautiful. When you grow, you naturally inspire others to grow. When you lead by example, when you show what it means to truly invest in yourself, you create ripples. Your transformation can light the way for someone else. Focusing on yourself doesn't just change your life, it touches the lives around you. But don't think this is a one-time thing. Focusing on yourself is not a task you complete and move on from. It's a lifelong journey. There will be seasons where you lose your way, and that's okay. The key is to notice it, to pause, and to come back, to return to your purpose, to recommit to your growth. Each day gives you the chance to focus a little more, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to make room for what truly matters. It's not about perfection, it never is. It's about showing up for yourself, especially on the days when it's hardest to do so. You have more potential than you give yourself credit for. You carry gifts the world is waiting to see. But you can't share those gifts unless you take time to nurture them. You can't wait for the perfect moment. You can't wait to feel ready. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Build from there. You deserve the same energy and care that you so freely give to others. You deserve the chance to chase your dreams, to explore your purpose, and to build a life that feels right to you. The time you spend on yourself is never wasted. In fact, it's the greatest gift you can offer to yourself and to the world. So today, make a decision, not for anyone else, but for you. Decide that from this moment forward, you are worthy of the time, the effort, and the love it takes to become your best self. Because when you focus on yourself, you don't just change your life, you change everything. And if you ever need to remember where to start, remember this: you are enough, just as you are, but you are capable of so much more. The best is yet to come. So now that we understand focusing on ourselves is the key to growth and fulfillment, the next step is to get specific, because without clarity, even the strongest intentions can fade. You see, when you set clear goals, something incredible happens. They become real. You can see them, you can measure them, you can track your progress in a way that leaves no room for vagueness or excuses. You know exactly what needs to be done. There's no guessing, no hoping, just a clear path laid out in front of you. But it's not enough to simply be specific. Your goals must also be realistic and achievable. Dreaming big is a beautiful thing, but if the goals you set feel impossibly distant, they can actually work against you. When something seems too far out of reach, it's easy to lose motivation and give up before you even begin. The magic happens when you break those big, ambitious dreams into smaller, manageable steps, tiny victories that build momentum and slowly carry you toward your destination. And it's those small wins that matter more than you might think. Each little success, no matter how minor it may seem, plants a seed of confidence. That confidence fuels the next step, and the next, creating a positive cycle that keeps you moving forward, little by little, until one day you realize just how far you've come. Accountability is another powerful ingredient in achieving your goals. When you set clear goals, don't just keep them to yourself. Share them with someone you trust. Someone who will hold you accountable, or write them down and place them somewhere you'll see every single day. There's something deeply motivating about making your goals visible. It becomes a constant reminder that you've made a promise to yourself. A quiet but firm nudge that says, keep going. And here's the truth we often overlook. Time is either our greatest ally or our worst enemy, depending entirely on how we choose to use it. When it comes to goals, time can slip through our fingers faster than we realize. That's why setting deadlines is so critical. A deadline creates urgency. It keeps you from falling into the dangerous mindset of someday. You know that place where dreams quietly go to die. How many times have we told ourselves, I'll do it someday? The problem is, someday rarely comes. But when you give your goal a timeline, it becomes more than a wish, it becomes a commitment. It's like setting an appointment with your future self and saying, I will meet you there. Deadlines protect you from procrastination and help you stay focused on what truly matters. Of course, life doesn't always follow our perfect plans. Even with the clearest goals and the best intentions, unexpected challenges will come. You might find yourself off track, feeling lost, or even tempted to quit. But here's where having clear goals saves you. They give you a map to find your way back. You can reassess, make adjustments, and keep moving forward. A setback doesn't mean failure. It's just another part of the journey. With clear goals, you don't freeze when you hit a roadblock. You learn to navigate around it. You become adaptable. And perhaps most importantly, you don't let obstacles define you or stop you. One of the greatest gifts clear goals offer is focus. When you know exactly what you're working toward, it becomes so much easier to say no to things that don't align with your vision. Distractions begin to lose their grip on you. You're no longer wandering, you're on a mission. Your time and energy are precious. Clear goals help you invest them wisely. They act like a filter, guiding your decisions and helping you distinguish between opportunities that support your growth and distractions that pull you away from it. And you know what else goals bring? Purpose. They give meaning to your effort. Even on the hard days, especially on the hard days, you can see that every step forward matters. Every ounce of work pushes you closer to where you want to be. And when you pause to look back, you'll see just how far you've come. That sense of progress, that feeling of, I'm getting there, is what fuels you to keep going. And let's not forget the incredible joy that comes when you finally achieve a goal. That moment when something you once only imagined becomes real. There's nothing quite like it. It's not just about the result. It's about the person you became along the way. You've built discipline, You've built resilience. You've built self-trust. Every goal you achieve is living proof that you are capable, that you can rely on yourself to follow through, and that you truly have what it takes to create the life you want. Setting clear goals is not just a task you check off a to-do list, it's a declaration. It's you standing tall and saying, I am in control of my life. I know what I want, and I am willing to work for it. That mindset shifts everything. So if you haven't already, take the time today to set clear, meaningful goals. Be specific, be realistic, be honest with yourself. Write them down, revisit them often, let them shape your daily choices. Because when you have clear goals, you have a clear path forward. And that path? It leads to a life filled with purpose, progress, and fulfillment. But as we walk our own path, we must remember one of the most dangerous traps along the journey: comparison. It's a subtle thief that can rob us of our joy, our confidence, and our focus if we're not careful. Isn't it easy to fall into that trap? You scroll through social media and see someone's success, their happiness, their perfect vacation, their perfect job, their perfect life, or so it seems. And suddenly, you begin to question your own. Am I doing enough? Am I moving fast enough? Will I ever get there? But here's the truth we so often forget. What we see is never the full picture. It's just the highlight reel. It's the polished moments, the filtered snapshots, not the struggle, not the hard work, not the sleepless nights behind the scenes. When we compare our own behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel, we set ourselves up for disappointment every time. Comparison distracts us from our own race. It steals the energy we should be pouring into our own dreams and pours it into worry and self-doubt instead. It's like trying to run full speed while looking sideways. You're bound to stumble. We each have our own journey, our own timing, our own starting points. Just because someone is achieving something right now doesn't mean you won't achieve your goals in your own time. Life is not a competition. It's about growth. It's about progress. It's about being a little bit better today than you were yesterday. When we compare, we usually measure our weaknesses against someone else's strengths. It's not a fair comparison. It's like comparing apples to oranges. Both are valuable, but they're different. Focus on what you bring to the table. Focus on your unique gifts, your potential, your personal path. And remember, social media rarely shows the whole story. Behind every perfect photo is a human being with struggles, doubts, and challenges, just like you. What if, instead of feeling envious, we chose to feel inspired? What if someone else's success could be a spark of motivation, not a reason for comparison? There's enough success to go around. When we celebrate others, we create an environment where everyone rises together. Your real competition? It's not the person next to you. It's the person you were yesterday. The real question is, are you growing? Are you learning? Are you making progress? Even if it's just a little. Day by day? When you focus on your own growth, comparison fades. It's no longer a useful measure. Instead of asking why they're ahead, ask yourself, what's my next step? Instead of thinking, why them? Think, what can I do to move forward? There is freedom in letting go of comparisons. It gives you space to appreciate your own life, your own progress, and your own pace. When you stop comparing, you notice more of the good in your life. You become grateful for what you have, for the lessons you've learned, and for your unique journey. Gratitude has the power to shift your entire perspective. So the next time you catch yourself comparing your path to someone else's, pause. Remind yourself that your journey is yours alone. It's okay if it looks different. You are exactly where you need to be. Celebrate your wins, focus on your progress, and keep moving forward. Because when you focus on yourself, you create a life that is meaningful, purposeful, and entirely your own. As we move forward on our journey of focusing on ourselves, letting go becomes an essential step. It's not just about setting goals or avoiding comparison, it's about releasing the things, both seen and unseen, that weigh us down and hold us back from real progress. Often, what we need to let go of isn't just physical clutter or external situations, it's the internal battles, the limiting beliefs, and the quiet stories we've been telling ourselves for years. Maybe you've convinced yourself you're not capable of achieving certain goals. Maybe you've come to believe that you don't deserve success, or that no matter how hard you try, you'll never break a bad habit that's been following you. Sometimes, These thoughts settle so deeply within us that we start treating them as if they were facts. As if they were the absolute truth. But the truth is, they are not facts. They are just thoughts. And the beautiful thing about thoughts is that you have the power to change them. Letting go also means learning to forgive, not just others, but yourself. We've all made mistakes. We've all been hurt. And we've all, in some way, hurt others. Carrying the heavy weight of guilt, resentment, or regret only keeps us chained to the past. It slows us down when what we really need is to be fully present and focused on what's ahead. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting what happened or pretending it didn't matter. It's not about excusing poor behavior or dismissing pain. It's about making the conscious choice to move forward without carrying the bitterness with you. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It frees up emotional space, energy, and peace that you can now invest in building a better future. Another part of letting go is releasing the need for control. Life is unpredictable, full of twists, turns, and surprises. When we try to control every detail, every outcome, and every moment, we often find ourselves tangled in frustration and stress. But when we loosen our grip, when we trust that life has its own rhythm, new possibilities begin to reveal themselves. Sometimes, the best opportunities appear when we stop forcing things to happen and start allowing them to unfold naturally. Learning to say no is another powerful form of letting go. Many of us struggle with this simple word because we're afraid of disappointing people, missing out, or appearing selfish. But every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals or your values, you're essentially saying no to yourself. You're giving away precious time and energy that could be better spent on your own growth and happiness. Saying no isn't about shutting people out, it's about choosing carefully. It's about protecting your time and creating space for what truly adds value to your life. When you start practicing this, you begin to notice how much lighter you feel, how much easier it is to move forward without the burden of obligations that no longer serve you. Letting go can feel uncomfortable, especially when you've held on to something for so long. It might be a mindset, a habit, or even a relationship that no longer fits who you're becoming. But it's also deeply liberating. When you release what's not helping you grow, you lighten your load, you create space for new experiences, new opportunities, and new growth. Imagine walking through life carrying a heavy backpack filled with things you no longer need. Each time you let go of guilt, of fear, of unnecessary commitments, you're taking something out of that backpack. And with every step, you feel lighter. You can walk faster, farther, and with more ease. As you begin to let go, you start to see more clearly what truly matters. Not everything needs your attention. Not everything deserves your energy. You begin to use your time with more intention, focusing on the people, goals, and experiences that bring you joy and fulfillment. Little by little, you start shaping a life that feels authentic and aligned with who you are meant to be. There's a quiet peace that comes with letting go. You stop resisting change and start embracing it. You stop clinging to what was and begin welcoming what could be. Life starts to feel more like flow, less like force, and in that flow, you'll discover new strengths within yourself, new passions you hadn't noticed before, and new doors that begin to open. Letting go is not a one-time event. It's not something you do once and forget about. It's a lifelong practice. It's a habit that needs constant attention. There will always be things that no longer serve you, old stories, outdated beliefs, commitments that have run their course. The more you practice releasing them, the easier it becomes. It's about regularly checking in with yourself, being honest about what's weighing you down, and having the courage to release it. So if there's something in your life right now that's making you feel stuck, something that feels heavy, something that's quietly draining your energy, pause, take a deep breath, and consider letting it go. Trust that by releasing it, you're not losing anything. You're making space for something better to find you. And when you create that space, beautiful things can happen. Because letting go opens you to growth, to possibility, and to a future filled with promise. Another powerful step in focusing on yourself and truly stopping the waste of time is taking consistent action toward your goals. It's not enough to simply dream. It's not enough to write your goals down. You have to move. You have to take steps, even the tiniest ones, every single day. Consistent action is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to go. It's how you make progress, how you grow, and how your dreams start to take shape in the real world. Taking action can feel overwhelming, especially when the goal seems big or the path ahead looks unclear. But the truth is, you don't need to have it all figured out to begin. You don't need the perfect plan or the perfect moment. You just need to start. Take the first step, then the next, and then another. Action builds momentum. Just like pushing a car, it's hard to get it rolling at first. But once it's moving, it gets easier to keep going. And before you know it, you're making real progress. Often, the biggest obstacle to taking action is waiting for motivation. But motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. If you wait for motivation to push you, you'll be stuck far more often than you'll move. What you need instead is discipline. Discipline is showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's keeping promises to yourself. It's choosing to push forward, even when your mind is whispering reasons to quit. Another thing that holds people back from taking consistent action is fear. Fear of failing. Fear of making mistakes, or even fear of what success might demand from us. But here's the truth. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the journey to success. Every person who has achieved something worthwhile has failed at some point. The difference is, they didn't let failure stop them. They used it to learn, to adjust, and to grow stronger. When you take action in spite of fear, you begin to build real confidence. You start to realize that fear doesn't have power over you, you have power over it. Sometimes, we get stuck overthinking. We plan, we prepare, we perfect, and we never actually move. Planning has its place, but only action creates results. You don't have to get everything perfect. You just have to get started. As you move, you'll figure things out. The path will become clearer with each step you take. Remember, consistency doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean you'll never miss a day. It means you keep showing up, more often than not. It means you don't give up just because you had a bad day. Progress is rarely a straight line. There will be detours, slow seasons, and challenges. But if you keep taking small, consistent steps, you will get there. Think of consistency like a snowball. At first, it's small and takes effort to push. But as it rolls, it picks up more snow. It gains speed. It grows. Your progress works the same way. The more consistent you are, the more momentum you build, and the bigger your results become. One of the best ways to stay consistent is to build habits and routines that support your goals. When something becomes a habit, you don't have to think about it. It simply becomes part of your day. Whether it's setting aside time to work on your goals in the morning, spending 10 minutes exercising, or journaling for reflection, these routines keep you on track even when your motivation fades. Accountability can also help you stay on course. Share your goals with someone who will encourage you. Whether it's a friend, a mentor, or a supportive community, when others know what you're working toward, you naturally feel a little more responsible to follow through. It's not about pressure, it's about having someone in your corner, giving you a gentle push when you need it most. And don't forget to celebrate your progress. Too often, we chase the big finish line and forget to appreciate the small wins along the way. Every step forward counts. Every milestone matters. Celebrate them. They'll fuel your motivation and remind you of what you're capable of. At the end of the day, the biggest difference between those who succeed and those who don't often comes down to one thing: taking action. It's not always about talent, resources, or timing. It's about who keeps showing up. It's about who keeps moving forward, even when it's hard, even when it's uncomfortable, even when progress feels slow. If you truly want to stop wasting time and fully focus on yourself, start taking consistent action today. No matter how small the step, take it, and then take the next one. Keep going, keep building, keep showing up, because when you take consistent action, you're not just working toward a goal, you're changing your life. And that, my friend, is the most powerful choice you can make.